Alright, in this section we're going to take a look at polynomial operations, adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing. I won't get into the division too much, but the adding, subtracting, and the multiplying are going to be biggies, okay? So let's just see what we remember and go from there. Eventually we got to get into our biggest thing that you should probably be decent at by now, but we need to master, which is factoring. Alright, let's go with our operations though. Alright, a monomial is a single term. Duh, mono mean one, binomial by two, trinomial three, blah blah blah. You know this stuff. A term is a number or a variable or the indicated product of a quotient of numbers, like the monomial term a or x to the a. Just an FYI, x is the base, the top number, the a, which is usually a number, could be a variable, is the exponent, and of course the whole thing is the power. Okay, so a to the x is the power. Remember, a to the x is x has a copies of it multiplied. So like x to the fourth is x times x times x times x, 4 copies, okay? Like terms are those with the same bases and the same exponents, okay? X cubed and x to the fourth are not like terms. X cubed, x to the fourth, same base, different powers. Remember that. To be like terms, you have to be the same base, same powers, okay? The number in front doesn't matter, the coefficient, all right? So, we're going to take a look at polynomials and add and subtract, okay? Addition and subtraction of monomials can only occur with like terms, okay? Like terms, big deal there, okay? When you add, okay, what you do is you're going to add the coefficients or subtract the coefficients, right? And combine like terms, right? Look at this one, 3x plus 6x. If you wanted to, technically you could factor out the x and you get 3 plus 6 times x, which is 9x, all right? Same with this one here. 2x minus 5x is 2 minus 5, which is negative 3x. All right. We usually don't write it this way. You should be able to do this in your head and go from there. Multiplication occurs between like terms again, but it can also occur between unlike terms. Okay. Multiplication doesn't need them to have the same. Okay. Simply multiply the coefficients, one of the most biggest thing done, and then when you take the powers, add them. Okay, don't multiply them. That's what people like to do. Okay, so if a power is raised to a power, though, that's when you're going to multiply. Okay, see, this is the difference. X to the third times x to the fourth versus x to the third to the fourth. This is a multiplication. You add x to the seventh. This is a power to a power. You multiply x to the 12th. Okay. That's the difference between. Hey, it's cool because I have Scorpion over here, and he, versus Mortal Kombat. Great game. Okay, or he's been in a lot. I can still remember his first. Mortal Kombat was famous for its gore and its fatalities. That was back in the year 95, 94. Big deal. All right. Okay. So, let's get started. Okay, m to the third to the fifth. Okay. You multiply these because it's a power to a power, that's m to the 15th. Over here, okay, you're going to multiply them again. Okay, now one of the things people forget is this kind of distributes to both, anything in there. So it's 4 to the third, d to the 4 times 3, which is 12, and 4 to the third, it's 4 times 4, which is 16 times 4, which is 64, d to the 12, Scorpion. Okay, he also has a spear, and he says, get over here. All right. So, to multiply a monomial by a polynomial, you're just going to distribute, okay? You're going to see me do this a lot. Rainbows of awesomeness, okay? Multiply the coefficients. 2 times 1 is 2. X times x squared is like this. You add the powers. It's x cubed. Minus 6. 3 times 2 is 6. X squared. 4 times 2 is 8. X, don't forget the positive. Okay, cannot combine any of these. All are not like terms. Okay, if the power is up on those, you might be able to, but you can't do anything. And that's the simplest we go. All right. To multiply binomials, I'm going to do it the old-fashioned way: FOIL, first, outer, and last. Hyper distribute. There you, smiley man. They got tons of methods. Okay, you're just distributing. All right. I'll just stick to what we've done. First, outer, and last. So multiplying this. First times first, x times x is x squared. Outers is x times negative 5, which is negative 5x. Inners is 3 times x plus 3x. And then the last terms is negative 15. All right. You're going to be able to combine like terms. X squared minus 2x minus 15. Okay. It's a distributing property. Notice how x distributes to that set and 3 distributes to that set. Should be not a problem. Okay. Just because I have them as that, you can get them increased in difficulty. Okay. You can't FOIL this out. Okay. A polynomial by a binomial, you're just going to have to distribute. So you're going to see me distribute the x to those terms. That's x times x squared, which is x cubed. X times 8x is plus 8x squared. 9 times x is plus 9x. That's the first part of the distribution. Now you got to do this. Watch sign, because that's where people make the mistake. Minus 4x squared, negative 4 times 8x, negative 8, 32x. Negative 4 times 9 is negative 36. CLT, I will say, also known as combined like terms. You get x cubed, because that's that there. These two combine to give you plus 4x squared. So I took care of those. 9x and negative 32x is going to be negative 23x. See ya. And I'm left with just negative 36. Okay. And we're all set there. All right, the last one we got to do is division. When you're dividing a monomial by a monomial, you divide coefficients first. So if there's numbers, you take care of that. When you have powers, you subtract. Okay. The exponents. All right. Remember, multiplication is just, or division is just multiplication still. Okay. So by negative. Okay. It's negative power. All right, moving along. Let's keep it going. The only other thing we can do is something like this. You notice how x to the 5th, x to the 2nd is x to the 3rd. Subtract 5 minus 2 to give you that. Expand it out. Over here, this will be m to the 9th minus 2, which is m to the 7th. Okay, not hard. Okay. The only other thing is when you divide a polynomial by a monomial, you must divide everything by the monomial. Okay, so you really get two problems. I like to separate it just to make sure we can see it. Don't forget the coefficient. That drives me crazy. All right, I'm gonna sneeze, I think. Yeah. Woo. There we go. All right, let's do some division. The 3 divided by 3 is just 1. X to the 6th, x to the 2nd will give you x to the 4th. A lot of people like to write x cubed there. Subtract. Minus 3 goes into 6 twice. Subtract x. And we're done there. So, make sure you also copyright. I wrote x squared. It should be x cubed, which is going to change this to just 2. So be careful. Alright, we can combine all these things together with our good old order of operations. Remember, work in parentheses. This is first, brackets, or whichever they have. Do the exponents, the powers, okay, that we were just talking about. You multiply or divide, left to right. And then you add or subtract, left to right. Okay, so let's do some of it all. Right? Parentheses we look at, I know there's nothing, no operations in there. We got a power. Let's do those powers. Okay. This is going to be 3 a to the 2nd cubed. A power to a power you multiply, that's a to the 6th. Minus, that's 4 squared, which is 16. And a to the 3rd squared is a to the 6th. Notice how we do have like terms. So if we have like terms, we can keep moving. Now we see we can do 3 minus 16 is negative 13, 80 to the 6th. Do not reduce the powers or anything like that. You're going to see people try that. Not a good thing. All right, let's move along to number 2. We take a look inside the brackets. And we got a power on the outside. That we'll deal with later. We have to do this. Can we combine those two? Nope. Can't do anything. All right, so now we move outside of those. We have a negative. What that means is we need to distribute that negative. It's like a negative 1. So multiply and change the signs. Negative 2x minus 2. This whole thing is still squared. We haven't gotten rid of that. But as you can see, we can work it here. We can CLT it, which is 3x minus 2. Right? Well, we got to square it. We square it, that means we have a double copy. 3x minus 2, 3x minus 2. This becomes a multiplication problem. FOIL it out, don't care how you do it, just do it. 9x squared minus 12x plus 4. How to get the negative 12x? This is minus 6x. Minus 6x. I've been doing it for years, so kind of second nature to me. Okay, moving along. Third one here. We have a power. Okay. We have to take care of this first, so we do have to FOIL it out. 2r minus whatever that is FOILed out. R plus 3. R plus 3. Okay. Get r squared plus 3r plus 3r plus 9r. Okay. CLT it, combine like terms. R squared plus 6r plus 9. Oops. What that means is, hey, let's see if we can switch the signs now. 2r minus r squared minus 6r minus 9r. Okay. Combine like terms. Negative r squared, negative 8r minus 9. And we are done there. Oh, no, we're not. 2 minus 6. Be careful. 2 minus 6, negative 4r. Okay. Simple things like that, okay, can make a difference. Changes the whole problem. All right, number 4. Ooh, big fat FOIL. Okay, we got to multiply this out and this out. Okay, multiplying this out. 4n minus 2 and 4n minus 2. 4n times 4n is 16n squared. Minus 8n, which is minus 16n. Negative 2 times negative 2 is plus 4. This thing multiplies out. 2, 4n plus 2, 4n plus 2. 16n squared plus 16n plus 4. Pretty similar. All right, one catch. We have a minus sign in between there. It means it's going to change all the signs of the second one. 16n squared minus 16n plus 4 minus 16n squared minus 16n minus 4. Cancellation wars. See ya. And that one wipes out that one. Left with the battle. Left is negative 32n. Alright? And last but not least, we have this one here. Distribute. See what happens, okay? We have no powers. We have parentheses. We can't combine these things. So we have to distribute. This is going to be 2 times 3, which is 6 r squared s minus 12 r st. Okay? If we do this problem, I'm going to take it as negative 4 st times this. Negative 4 times 8s is 8 minus 32 s squared t. We'll add the powers there. And 2 negatives here become a positive 4 r st. Notice how I'm keeping them in alphabetical order. This way you can see, hey, look, those are like terms. Oh, and do we have any others? This kind, oh, that one's got a T, that one doesn't. So we can't really do anything. So that's there. Those combine to give me negative 12 plus 4 is negative 8 rst minus 32 s squared t. Okay, so make sure you check them out. Be slow with your work. Remember your order of operations. Recapping it, when we multiply, add the powers, but a power to a power you multiply. Okay, when you're dividing, subtract the powers. Okay, remember you can only add or subtract like terms. You guys take care.